Hey guys, Afman here. A few weeks ago I made a little size comparison video between the mini grip and the UK penknife, and I said at the time that I would make my review on this excellent EDC knife. So here it is. This model is the 555 HG Blue. The 556 has the thumb stud here instead of the hole. So the Gritptilian line is probably the flagship of Benchmade, and for good reasons I believe. They are high quality knives, but they're sold at a very decent price. Some knives like the Tenacious, or the Benchmade Vex, they're around 30 euros, but I consider them as cheap knives because you pay a pretty low price, but you also got some really basic materials and specifically basic steels like ATR 13 MOV or OS 8, So this knife here belongs to another category, and the price is more around 50 euros. But I don't consider them as cheap knives, simply because they're really well made and you got way better steels. This one is 154 cm, the Delica is VG10, and you will have a way better edge retention with this one compared with the Tenacious, for example. And from my experience with knives, I found out that I prefer adding 20 euros and get a high quality knife than paying my 30s and get something that is, after all, not that good. I've already made a review on the Tenacious, and it's a good knife, but I just don't really carry it anymore, simply because what it has to offer, the materials and the steel, it just doesn't satisfy me, So, yeah. This one, the handle is very different than the one that you got on the full size version, i.e. this one. On the mini grip you have steel liners that covers all the inside area of the handle, as you can see, and they're not drilled out, so you don't have the same plasticky feeling that you had with the full size. Definitely seems more solid and not as empty plastic, but it is still a Velox handle, so it's exactly the same material, which is apparently a little bit different, meaning more resistant than FRM, but it's basically a hard plastic anyway, so same handle than 550, but not the same feeling in your hand. And I like this handle, it's really comfortable and it jimped out pretty much everywhere, so really cool. The locking mechanism is the famous axis lock, which is awesome. My knives with the axis lock, I just don't tighten the pivot because, I generally like my knives to be pretty tight, except this one. I really dig that smoothness. It's so easy to open and to close. I love it, So the axis is extremely reliable. It will never disengage, and it's probably one of the safest locks out there currently. The only interrogation that I have is about this, the Omega springs here, that you can see. This is maybe the only weakness of the lock, I believe, but I've never seen one broken, so I assume that there is not a real problem with this with the springs. But anyway, extremely smooth, really fast. You take it out of your pocket, open, cut, close. Really convenient. Love it. The pocket clip is exactly the same as the one that you got on the full size. Exactly the same size, so love it. Definitely one of my favorite clips. Tip up carry only, obviously, because here of the lock. The blade is made out of 154 cm, like I said, which I like a lot. Even though I prefer VG10 if you talk about the same price range of steel. I think VG10 will hold an edge a little bit better, and it's not gonna be harder to sharpen than this one. And it is less prompt to chip than 154, because 154 chips quite easily. Not really easily, but easier than VG10 at least. So, I've used pretty hard my full-size grip, and I had a lot of microchips here on the edge, and it was pretty hard to get it sharp back, so it took me not a long time, but I had to sharpen it with the Spyderco sharp maker, and took quite a long time. So this is a hollow ground, and the grinding is pretty thin, which makes it a very good slicer. Really love that. Usual side note of my review, the blade centering is nice. So oops. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this knife. Plus, I mean, there's a lot of different versions available, different edges, different colors. You got the blue, black, yellow, pink. I've even seen a purple one on YouTube. Thought it was pretty cool. So I picked the satin plain edge with the blue handle. You know, I really wanted something that wouldn't afraid people when I use it. Plus, I really like this blue color. Thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, big fan of this guy right here. This is an outstanding EDC knife, really light and easy to carry, and I have actually no criticism against it. You know, maybe just jimping here, that is not purposeful enough, but you know, works fine anyway. So and I really love the design, really, and the same with the full side. You know, I really dig this design. So yeah, you should definitely pick one up. I mean, it's probably one of the best EDC knives you can get. I mean, with the price. I mean, the ratio quality price is pretty high. It's really cool and really funny to use daily, so I highly recommend this one. And I will make a comparison video with the it's gonna be this one versus the Spyderco Delica 4. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching, guys. See ya.